This is Raymond Aaron, New York Times top 10 best-selling author, but I'm here in my capacity as the founder and interviewer of Respark Your Life, and I love doing it because sometimes I bring you a world-famous celebrity, and you always enjoy that. Sometimes I bring you a stealth genius that you've never heard of before, but this time is completely different. Out of 250 interviews that I've done, this is the first time I've interviewed a couple, the very first time ever. And I don't know how it'll work, but I think it'll work really well. I have Lisa Phillips and her husband, Jason Sayet. Now, are you with me?
Yes. Hi, Raymond.
Hi, Raymond.
Hi. So I don't know what's going to happen when I ask a question. I don't know which one of you is going to answer. Maybe both of you will answer one after the other, but let's just have some fun.
Sounds
And
good.
the title of this episode is A Very Interesting Business. A very interesting business. I knew Lisa long before I met you, Jason. And when she met you, all she could talk about, I met this amazing guy and he's got a really interesting business. I said, what is it? What is it? So tell us what you do that actually no one's ever heard of before. What do you do?
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. We are a technology company. We provide extra hands and boots on the ground for IT departments. So for large companies, they have very small IT departments with a lot of users. So IT don't have the time to attend to the users at their desks. They typically do stuff remotely. So they stay at their desk and work on your computer. But when you need a new monitor, for example, they don't have the time to do that. So they call us in to come change your hardware, to do the physical. So one of the companies we work for, we there every single week. They give us a list of items to take care of, and we change out hardware, we bring back hardware, we set up new hires, all those types of things. We take care of their lab, do the regular maintenance, things like that.
So you're like the handyman that just does IT hardware. I never thought of that. The IT department really just cares about software and they care about data moving back and forth, but they don't come to your desk and say, how's your monitor? They don't do that. So you provide that service where they call you in when they need you, only when they need you, and you fix or you move whatever has to be moved. And sometimes they want to move from one building to another. And they call
that's
you.
one of the main things that we specialize in is that relocation piece. So when they're a large company, whether they have 500 desks, we've moved companies with 1,000 workstations, over 1,000 workstations, and they obviously don't have the resources to be able to do a project of that size. We come in with a very large tech team, and we can within a weekend move, set up the hardware, the workstations for 1,500 desks.
Hold on. I got a hardball question for you. Better get ready for this one because this is coming fast and furious at you. And here it is. Every company that has to move from one location to another, maybe within the same state or maybe across the nation, they know how to do it. You call up a moving company, they pick up the furniture and the lamps and whatever, and suddenly it's in the other location. So what do? Why can't they just call a moving company?
So a lot of companies don't want the movers touching their IT equipment. They want a specialty company, an IT company, to assist with that component. A lot of the IT is fragile, it's delicate. They want it unplugged correctly. They want it plugged in the right way. And then another secret part about our secret sauce is the cable management component. So typically when a mover sets up your workstation, you're going to have spaghetti where all the cables are hanging, you tripping hazards. And when you go to your new desk, when you move in, the company spent millions of dollars on the relocation, the furniture, the renovations, and the last component is when your stuff gets there, it doesn't look nice. So now you don't have a good feel when you've come to work on your first day. So we set up everything. We do a very special cable management, make it look pretty. So when you get there, it feels like a new space.
Jason, you have a name, cable management, but I never heard that term before. The term that I've always used is a bloody mess.
That's right, Raymond.
I I do my best to keep my cables in order in my own home. But I tell you, I come into some offices and it's so bad. It's like really bad. And interestingly, the employees don't seem to notice it. Or maybe they do, but they just got used to it. What do you think?
Eventually, you just become cable blind.
Able blind, that's another term I've never heard it before.
It's because no one knows what to do with it, and IT don't have the time to take care of it. So we actually work with a furniture company, and we provide a tech detailing service where we go in and they sell the furniture. Some of the clients set up their own technology, but we go in and fix it afterwards. We clean up the cables, make it look pretty. We use Velcro. We use the often the salespeople will sell different cable management tools like a basket underneath the desk, and IT don't typically use it. So we go, tuck the cables in, make it nice. If they didn't sell them on, we sell them on. And we help them work it out to make it look pretty.
So the interesting business that you run is most of your business is concerning moving, but yet you don't move the equipment.
Correct.
The furniture company or the moving van moves the stuff, even the IT stuff, but you don't. You unplug it, you wrap it up nicely, you make notes of where everything goes. And then at the other end, you unwrap it and put it all in place, but you actually don't move it. So you're not a moving company and you're not really an IT company because you don't handle the data. That's why you're so darn interesting. You just unplug and replug. What
Well,
a
it
business.
becomes a real problem because if you don't have someone that can make it look nice, there's a whole the professionalism is lacking. It doesn't have this nice aesthetic feel. And we work for very large Fortune 500 companies, very, very big companies. And if clients are coming in, it has to look good. And a lot of these spaces even get photographed and put online. So it has to have that really top professional, high level feel. And that's what we specialize in.
Oh, I know you do a great job. I know you do a great job. I was just kind of pondering, you really just unplug and then replug at the other end? I know there's more than that,
Yeah.
but that's the funny part. When Lisa first told me that she found this wonderful guy who's in IT moving, I said, he moves IT equipment. Oh, that's good because it has to be in a special van or something. But I got it completely wrong. You throw it in the van with all the other stuff because you packaged it well and you make all kinds of clever notes so that when you unpack it at the other end, it's exactly what the employee wants. So he walks in, he leaves on Friday as if nothing happens. And then on Monday morning, he shows up at a different site, wherever they moved to. And his desk looks exactly like it's supposed to look, exactly like it used to look, except the cable management is done so he can be proud of it. Wow. What? Well, Jason, when you were a little kid and some big person called an adult said to you, what would you like to be when you grow up? Did you say you'd like to unplug IT equipment?
Definitely not.
Well, how did you fall into this? I mean, I've never even heard of such a business.
I was a laser printer technician. So for 14 years, I was on the road servicing printers,
Oh,
and I left that company and joined another company. And one of the clients asked for a printer technician to be part of a move because they wanted all their printers protected. They wanted the toners removed. And so I was on that and I saw how everything went. I loved it and fell into that industry.
I can see, you know what? I wouldn't have thought of removing the toners. If I were a person evolved and interested in being good to the clients, I would very gingerly pick up the printer and forget about the toner inside that would get smashed around and be useless at the other end. So there's lots of tips that you picked up along the way so that it actually works at the other end.
That's right.
Wow, you must be so proud when finally Monday morning before 9 a.m., maybe 6 a.m. or something, before the employees march in for the day, you must be so proud seeing them come in and like the shock on their face. Actually, I'm not interviewing myself, I should be interviewing you. When you see the employees walk in on Monday morning, to, like, are they surprised? Are they happy? Do they hug you? Tell me
So,
their reaction.
so we find that people don't like change. So a lot of people are excited about the space, but there's that small group that don't like change and they're unhappy. So we provide another service. We do first day business fine tune. So we have, depending on the size of the space. For example, if 2 floors, we'll have 6 people, 3 people per floor, roaming the floor, helping people. So in the first 3 hours, it's crazy. Everyone's coming to work. And you can see when someone's standing up and they look funny, we go up to them and say, "Good morning. How can we help you? Can we, you know?" And typically they'll say, "Could you put our phone over here? Could you move this? Could you adjust my monitors?" And that little bit of help there changes the way they are or the way they came in. So they
Yeah.
were grumpy in the morning, but now they're a little bit more because there's help there.
I can see, I can see the the obvious positive of cable management is aesthetics.
Yes,
But what I hadn't realized until you answered that question, the negative of cable management is that it restricts your flexibility to move things around on your desk because you obviously leave just enough cable for the phone to go just there. And if they want to move it, there's not enough cable for them to move it. So they need your help.
that's
I
right.
Well, that's a wonderful service. That's like better than white glove service. That's like butler service. Wow. I can see how that would really help. You know, I just heard an amazing quote by Elon Musk. He says, most people don't like change, but they better get used to it if the alternative is disaster. And he was talking about artificial intelligence. And here, the alternative is not disaster, it's unpleasantness and griping and gossiping and discontent, which means you don't get the testimony that you deserve and things like that. Yeah, I can see it. So you've got your most, let's say, best bedside manner. I guess I should call it desk side manner. You have your best desk side manner staff who are the happiest and most cheerful, roaming around making everybody happy. Sure, I can fix that for you. Sure, I'll do that right now. Isn't that sweet? So you unplug, replug, and then make people happy at the other end.
That's
Well,
right.
moving is so stressful, right? The whole experience for that company is very stressful for them. So we come in as sort of the knight in shining armor to just alleviate the stress because the coordinators and all of the IT staff and the facilities department it's the most moving as even if you're moving a house, it's unbelievably stressful. So
Yeah.
when a company moves, it's the same thing. So we're that sort of there to sort of, we realize that the stress level is extremely high, and we do everything in our power to just make it calm for everybody so that they just have that relief, and they're proud of what they've created in their new space.
Ah, well, I can see another reason why your business is so interesting and unique. And that is that when the movers move a desk is really robust. A chair is really robust. I mean, you have to be an evil person to destroy a chair. So when the moving company puts the desk and the chair down, it's fine. There's nothing wrong. Nobody's going to say, I wish my chair were an inch to the left. Like nobody would do that. And so when we come to this new thing called high tech, we don't immediately realize that it's different and that it does need a helping hand. And so you fill that in. Do you have competitors? Like, are there other people in this? Is it an industry, or are you just the only one in town?
It is an industry. A lot of people don't know about it. But yes, we do have competitors.
They're not as good as you.
We always strive to be the best at what we do, and we really try and take care of our clients at a different level. So we hope we're the best.
You know what just came to my mind, and I don't know if you do this, but in my own company, and I haven't complained to anybody about it, I just gave up and have lived with it. If you go into my directory, when you phone a company and they say, press this number if you want to go to the directory, press that number if you want to do something else. So I pressed it just for fun one day. And it listed all kinds of people who don't work for me any longer.
No.
They're still in the directory. And that's got nothing to do with what you do, except that it's an IT issue that bugs me. And I can see that if you didn't do the IT move well, there'd be lots of people who had legitimate gripes that things didn't work well. And you cure that. And
Yeah.
also things don't get damaged. Things like a big thing like a printer doesn't get damaged. Smaller things are handled nicely, probably put them in bubble wrap or in their own boxes so that they sit nicely and have a nice ride. Wow, what a fun thing.
It's funny that you mentioned though about the phones, because we have done projects where we've helped reprogram phones.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever they want, if they say, by the way, we've got 20 new hires and I want them to be proud, I want their names to be in the directory instead of like half a year later.
Yep.
Wow. So whatever they want, whatever
Pretty
they
much,
want.
we become the extra hands for IT. So if an IT department's only 5 people and they've got a project for 300 users, we bring in our team and take care of it.
Wow. And you do this all across the United States and all across Canada.
Yes.
We do. Yep.
Wow. I'm so proud of you. Because when you first got married and I learned more and more about your business, you were local in one city and then you grew cross country and then you grew across North America. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell me something else fascinating about your business that I wouldn't know to ask.
We also do data cabling.
Oh,
We
tell me
do
what,
IT e-waste recycling.
oh, e-waste recycling.
Yeah,
Oh, that's, of course, that's important.
and then we do hard drive destruction, where we shred the hard drive so that the data is protected,
Well, it's certainly protected.
destroyed.
Shred the, you shred the memory. But do people really need their memory shredded? Can't you just erase the drive and then resell it?
It's much safer just to destroy the drive. Um, I don't think anyone, depending on how malicious the person is, but there are ways of recovering hard drives. So Most corporate entities shred them.
Really?
Yes.
Now, I've heard another term, and maybe it doesn't apply to you, but I've heard it. Data drop. First of all, tell me what the heck data drop means. I don't know. I've just heard it. And then tell me if you do it.
We do it.
What is it?
So it's installing like a Ethernet cable for internet. So the actual physical cable so that you're able to have internet in your office space.
Why
Structured
is it,
cabling.
Yeah.
why is it called data drop?
Because the data runs through the drop.
Oh, for gosh sakes. Well, what's the next step? What's the next step? Do you have like a big plan, a big expansion, a change in some way?
I think the next step is to grow in all the states and provinces and everywhere where we are. So we want to reach more companies and help more and alleviate the stress that they all have during those specialty projects that they have. So we just want to get into more and more companies so we can help them.
Do you do houses, like an individual house? Like if I wanted to move and I've got lots of equipment, do you do a house, or that's probably too small for you?
We typically don't do houses, but we do it for you, Raymond. So
That's what I get for hosting people
there you
on my
go.
podcast. I get free IT. That's funny.
We generally deal with very large corporations, the health industry, government entities, Fortune 500 companies. So those are typically our clients.
So on occasion, I have been asked to go take care of like a VP's office at home, and we have done it.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So it's not a definite like out of our world, but we do it on occasion.
Yeah, you do it for the executive because
Yes.
you want him to feel good about you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you on the spot now. Do you have a favorite quotation? Quotation that you like, that you live by?
Ooh, that's hard. That's a
No,
hard question.
I ask toughy questions.
I feel like I use lots of quotes all the time, but now they're not coming to mind.
We specialize in the weird and wonderful at last minute.
Weird and wonderful at the last minute. Very nice. Very nice. A quote that has stuck in my mind recently, I just heard it a week or so ago, and I love it, is earn your shower.
Ah, nice.
It's an athletic quote, like do enough work out in the field or the court to deserve your shower.
Yes.
I
Right.
think about that a lot. I think like maybe it's 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I've got a few hours to go before the workday is over. And I say, have I earned my shower yet? And it's really nice. I don't mean it drives me to be a workaholic. It just makes sure that I do a darn good day's work every day.
Well, that reminds me, I don't know if it's the exact quote, but it's, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
There you go. There's your quote.
And
Well
then
done.
that definitely fits for us, especially Jason, because Jason deals with more of the technical side of the business, and he loves what he does. And we hire people who love technology, so there's a love and a passion for it, and we don't work. We get to play all day long.
Okay, and now I'm going to ask you a really difficult question that you'll have to be transparent and vulnerable to answer, and maybe you won't want to answer, but I'm going to take a chance, and here it is. In your business, you have a hierarchical structure like all businesses, and so you can give a command to someone. But if one of you is giving a command to the other, inside the business, it's acceptable. But you're also married. We're giving commands. It doesn't work in a marriage. So how does it work for you? How do you handle working together and being an intimate partner in a marriage? Does it work or doesn't work? Tell me.
That's a great question. Do you want to answer? Do you want me to? We can both answer. I think you have to remember what hat you're wearing. So
Yeah.
when we're wearing the work hat, we have sort of very clearly defined roles in the business. So I handle certain things. Jason handles the sort of more technical things, deals with the whole delivery team across all of North America. I might deal with the more financial side or the legal side. So we all have our expertise. So that person is in charge of that area. And obviously, if we need the other to do something, we do what we need to do to for the good of the business. But
Yeah.
it's important, obviously, that we remove that work hat and remember that we are a couple and and carve out that time for that relationship as well. So, I think I don't know if I covered it pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it has its challenges at times, but I think because we have the same we're shooting for the same goals, right? We want the same things. It makes it a little bit easier to sort of overcome those little challenges when it gets a little bit intense. And it's usually when work is really busy.
Wow. Now, you mentioned hat, and that reminded me, I interviewed somebody years ago, and he was a writer who couldn't get his books done because he kept getting interrupted by his kids and his wife. And he would say, please, when you interrupt me, it like destroys my thinking for maybe another hour. And his wife would say something like, I'm asking you what you want for dinner. I have to be able to ask you.
Yeah.
And so he created this paradigm. It was fascinating. If he wants to write, he walks to the front door, he has a like a pole at the front door where you hang your coat and hat. I forget what it's called. But he takes his hat off the pole, puts it on his head, walks out the front door, walks in the side door, goes into the basement where his office is. And the kids and the wife know if his hat is not on that pole beside the front door, then he's working. It's as if he's like 20 miles away and he doesn't have his cell phone with him. Don't
Yeah.
talk to him. But then when he comes back, he walks out the side door, around the front, walks in the front door, puts his hat on the pole, and his kids run up to him. And they've created that artificial distinction because of the hat, and it works well for him. So I'm glad that you've created something as well so you can have a wonderful work life and a wonderful marriage. Thank you. And now I'm going to talk to my dear subscriber. What I hope that you got from this is some insights into a fascinating, unusual, probably never heard of before business. So it's just for fun, just to give you an insight into a different kind of business that you probably never heard of before. However, you might be an employee in a large company, and the company might have lots of problems with their IT, might have cable management problems, probably do, or there might be a move coming up. Or you might actually be an executive of a company that is experiencing a move or experiencing complaints from people using IT at their desk. So if you happen to be interested in this kind of service, I'm going to give you an email address, info@Unio Tech Solutions. Unio, UNIO, Tech, TECH, Solutions, plural.com. info@uniotechsolutions.com. You can also see it in the show notes. If you happen to be an employee or an officer of a large organization that has any IT problems that this company, Unio Tech, can solve, give them a call. They do a good job. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Jason. I love that you do something so interesting and unique. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Raymond.
Thanks for having us.